God, it hurts to breathe.
All right. Do you want me to put you on camera or just audio?
You can audio's fine. Yeah.
You don't
Here
look
we go.
that bad.
I sound bad.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Jimmy O'Neill from the KMET Weather Center. For the Beaumont area and the Banning area, as we go through the daytime hours, expect mostly sunny skies, highs in the lower 70s. For the daytime hours in the IE area, there'll be sunny skies, highs in the mid 70s. And as we go through the day in the Coachella Valley, expect sunny skies, highs in the mid 80s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. It is a beautiful day to be alive. Whatever you're doing, make sure you do it well and good. Obviously, a lot of news going on around the world. Questions on Moderna, questions on Pfizer, questions on Johnson & Johnson, in other parts of the country, AstraZeneca, and many more. Are they working? Are they not? And are they causing now another division? Is a division happening in the U.S.? I would say yes, and I would say there's a balance of things. Let's use the balance of our mind to do the balance of things on this earth, and let's not create more division than is needed. I have been listening to certain broadcasts about some police officers being compliant about getting the vaccination, whereas others have been actually forced to leave. I've talked to some people about their own views on this and asked what do they think. We want to ask what you think, but remember always, everybody has an opinion. And having said that, everybody has the right to say, in effect, hey, I want to allow this into my body, I don't want to allow that into my body, and I want to accept this, and I don't want to accept that. Having said that, I don't think it's right that people are blaming other people for getting coronavirus, whether they have a vaccine or whether they do not. Colin Powell, I know we were watching a little bit of that, and a lot of questions all of a sudden kind of made to look like, well, he didn't really die from coronavirus. He was suffering already. And I go, he died of coronavirus. You guys are just making it so that it doesn't seem as though even though somebody gets a vaccine, they could still die from coronavirus. The same way he was at risk, he had other things. Everybody has every other thing by the age of 80, of course. But the question is this: if you were to get the vaccine, does that mean that you will not get coronavirus? We have been saying this since the beginning of this year. You still can get it. You may even pass it on to others. You may be able to fight it much better because you have a vaccine, but depending on the variant of concern, you may still catch it and possibly not be able to fight it if you got one of the earlier shots. So I'm going to bring this up for people that obviously have questions here. The reality is, if you got the Pfizer here in the U.S., and these are the top three in the U.S. Obviously, the top two were only Pfizer and Moderna because they were first approved at the very beginning. So if anybody got the first two, they got usually in January, February, and March, I believe, here in the U.S. Okay. Now, having said that, how long is the vaccine good for? Every single analyst will say anywhere from 4 to 6 months, depending on people's biology. That's number one. Having said that, if you count from the time of January, you're already needing a second shot. Does that make sense? I hope that makes some sense. If you got it maybe in August, you're good to go. Because August, September, October, November, December, January. Okay, so everybody's gotten it at different stages. So that's number one, knowing that. And then if you know that, you know whether a second booster shot is important or not, or if you're kind of lumping a bunch all at the same time. That's kind of important to know. Number two, what you need to know is obviously there are people that are getting it but still able to get coronavirus and or getting sick still. There are still stories and people, although maybe not amplified as much, that are dying whether they got the vaccine or not. But a lot of the stories have been slanted to, well, they were unvaccinated. Well, they were unvaccinated. Well, they were unvaccinated. Now we have one with Colin Powell where he was vaccinated, but he got it. And now like, well, he had other health conditions. Hold up. It is not a cure. The vaccines are not a cure. If they were a cure, it would be a completely different story. A vaccination vaccinates against certain things to help the body create a certain type of immunity to help fight it off if in the event you get a version of the coronavirus. But which one are you going to get? Let's put it into perspective. Let's say right here, right now, you get the coronavirus shot, okay? And you go to the pharmacy, you say, I want a coronavirus shot, and you get the shot. Now, that shot will be one which will immediately eradicate all of coronavirus. Never, okay? That's the problem where people are kind of getting, because I've had it said to me in person, you can't get it from me, I got the vaccine. And I said, but I thought, no, I'm not going to fight. At least you got the vaccine. I'm not going to have that discussion. Just good for you. And that was in July, maybe June. I don't remember, June or July. And in that conversation, I just said, you do kind of know. And I said, no, you know what? I'm not going to fight because I don't want to create a problem. I don't want to create division. We were talking business. We were talking about a script. We were talking about a movie. I said, I'm not going to create division. Just, I'm sure he'll figure it out soon enough. Okay. Now, having said that, my mom has gotten the Johnson & Johnson. I've said this very publicly. I said that we ourselves chose to wait from the Pfizer and the Moderna. Based on the research I did, I didn't feel comfortable getting her either one at first. Based on the research I did on the Johnson & Johnson, although, of course, the very beginning, there were some statements about blood clots happening in a percentage of women. And, of course, I took that information, added to the information I got from Moderna. But I will say one thing. My mom did not have any effect from the Johnson & Johnson. She's still alive today. She still, thank goodness, has not gotten coronavirus. But we don't put her in bad situations where she could get coronavirus. That's number one. Just because she has the vaccine, it doesn't mean I'm going to put her in the middle of a bunch of people and say, yay, let's dance and party, woo, woo, because I guarantee you she would party with the rest. And throw caution to the wind because it's like, oh, no, she's not going to get coronavirus because she's got the vaccine. You get where I'm going with this? So if I would do that for my mom, here's what I would do for the rest of you. Talk knowledge into your mind, okay? If you get a shot, will you get sick? Will you not get sick? And if you do get sick, will you be able to fight it? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes, depending on the questions in your mind. The reality is, if you got the alpha variant or the beta variant or one of the other three variants that often you don't know about but were happening and killing a lot of people as of last year, the answer is yes, you'll be better able to fight it, but it doesn't mean you'll 100% be able to fight it 100%. Does that make sense? There is no 100%. That's why they say 80% to 90% to 95% to maybe in some cases 98%, in some cases 100% against other viruses. Now, that's one of the latest statements from Johnson & Johnson's latest update. And they got a lot of problems in the beginning, saying, because there were all kinds of reports all over the place, as little as 68% and as much as maybe 84% efficacy is what you kept hearing. So it sounded like it was a lesser option than the other two, because the other one sounded like 95% and 98%. That's what Pfizer and Moderna were kind of publishing. But whichever one you got, it matters, because going forward, it's going to matter, especially the next couple of weeks when people are getting a little confused as to which one they're going to get next. Because now they're saying they can mix and match, whereas they said, well, you can't mix and match. But now they're saying you can mix and match, because the question is, once it's out of your system, can you mix and match? The answer is yes, once it's out of your system. But you have to know when you got it to begin with. So you have to know those dates. Once you know those dates, you can say, okay, and I know several people. I just had this conversation with a friend yesterday about Moderna. Said, yep, I got sick. 3 days I had it. Listen to your broadcast. It's true. I got sick. So let's say that person got it in, I don't know, March. Okay. April, May, June, July, August, September, right? October's right around the corner. Would it make sense to get maybe either the Pfizer or the Johnson & Johnson? I would say yes. I would say, why do you have to be stuck to one? And maybe that's the only one that they were offering, because if you do a quick check on vaccine, I think there's a check everyone could do, by the way. You could do it right now. And if you want to see what people have access to and you want to make an appointment, all you have to do is type in, and there's so many out there now, vaccines.gov. I find that to be the easiest one. And when you type that in, you can type in the specific one that you actually want here in the U.S. Now, granted, in other areas such as Europe and such as Africa and such as Australia and such as New Zealand and other areas, there are other manufacturers manufacturing different types. Now, if you're a world traveler, that matters, because different variants happen differently around the world. So that's why it's so important for us to know locally and in your neck of the woods, wherever you're at, what is the variant of concern. In some areas, Delta was not a concern back in February here, but it was a huge concern in India. In India, it decimated India. In India, it got so bad, and we reported it here on the show. I remember because Jesse was reporting it here on the show quite a lot, that there were pyres where they couldn't even, it was like, imagine back in the day in medieval times where you had a bunch of sticks put together and then you light the fire, woof, and then you basically burn the bodies there outside because there were people being dead every single day. And some of the health organizations had to turn them away. And we said it. We said it here on the show. We said it in February. Is that possible for it to happen here? And if it does, are we prepared for it? Now, I would like to say the answer is yes. We've been more ahead of it than not. But because there are organizations that look at other areas and say, okay, this is what's happening here. This could get to be pretty big pretty soon. World travelers spread coronavirus like crazy. If you do any research on why certain cold strains or flu strains or any strain of anything gets around the world at certain times, it's a traveler. One traveler goes from Africa to here, all of a sudden, 8 people get it. Now the question is, will they be immune from it? The answer is, that depends on your body. That depends on your immunity. That depends on your ability to fight certain diseases and or other chemicals that could be introduced into your body. Now, if those 8 don't get it, will the family members get it as well? The answer is yes. It's a communicable disease. And once it gets into your lungs and or to your breathing and you cough it out, all of a sudden the little spores, which are so microscopic you can't even see them, enter into the air and now somebody else breathes it. Now you just need the right set of circumstances for it to start populating and start to become all widespread in your body. Some people, it happens sooner than later. Other people, it happens longer. But depending on how quick one will happen will depend on the variant or mutation of the original coronavirus that was released as of last year. Now, having said that, going back to the knowledge of vaccines, do they work, will they work, and are they working, is the better question of the day. More often than not, yes. That's a better answer. But they are not foolproof. So what I'm starting to see is around the country, people are losing their jobs because they are mandated by the company and or place that if you don't get a vaccine, you may not work here ever. And I guarantee you there's going to be lawsuits aplenty on this. The fact is, if you can say, and this is where the protection comes, and this is where I think are coming from attorneys, if you could say it is a religious reason, well, then you're at least halfway there. Or conscience reason, or whichever. Because you cannot remove somebody from just not doing one thing and not another. You just can't. Not for that. So there's police officers, there's nurses that have lost their jobs. There are people that are very smart that have done the research and have said, not that they don't believe coronavirus is here. They know coronavirus is here. They just do not want to decide on the vaccine just yet. Maybe they wanted to get more science. Maybe they want to get more knowledge. And that's not wrong. If you are recommended by any doctor to use any type of service that they recommend to you, you have the right to reject the said service, to say, what alternatives are there? Now, more people than not will say there are no other alternatives. These are the only alternatives. And I would say, well, okay, I understand that, but we need to be cautious going forward. What if a said vaccine causes more problems 3, 4, 8 months down the line? If you don't believe me, you're going to have to do the math in the next couple of months. I can almost guarantee you there's going to be several articles, although they're going to be dummied down, that are going to say certain ones may cause certain symptoms because they're seeing results on some of these things. Why do you think even the Moderna shot is now being reduced on how much they're giving people? Yeah, there's science coming out and there's knowledge coming out, but are we going to be ahead of it? Well, I certainly hope so. Now, to the other side that says, yeah, but better something than nothing. I don't want to get sick from you. You still can, even if you have a coronavirus shot. Back to something I said earlier. Even if you get a coronavirus shot, doesn't mean you're not going to get it from somebody. It doesn't mean that you can't give it to anybody. It just means although it enters your body, you're able to fight it hopefully stronger, better, and more resiliently, right? Which I think Colin Powell himself wanted to do for the right reason, as has the majority of the administration have all done that. Now, having said that, I understand when people say, I would rather not get other people sick. I'm just going to go ahead and get it no matter what. I understand that. But what I'm asking for everyone to do is see other people's viewpoint. You don't fire them or remove them from their said service just because they don't accept it. Did you even bother to ask why they didn't accept it? Maybe they have good knowledge that they didn't share with you because you're unwilling to listen. And oh, by the way, if you got a coronavirus shot back in January and you don't have it now, you yourself should be fired by your own reasoning, because it isn't, 8 years since the beginning that you initially got it. So the question is, are you up to date on your coronavirus shots? Can you prove it as well? Well, I just got mine. Good. Good for you. Did everybody get it since January? Oh, because they haven't been all approved. If you got the Moderna shot or the Johnson & Johnson shot, then you technically, well, if you got it especially in March, you technically it's out of your body. Yeah, do the research. So now the question is, have you got the more recent shot? Have you not got the recent shot? And it just goes around and around and around. It's going to create problems for everybody. So my point is this. Do the research, do the math, and hope to God you don't work for one of these companies. Because I guarantee you they're going to have to pay out the wazoo because they haven't checked with the legal system properly and they do not know their rights. And there's going to be a lot of employees saying, wait a minute, this is an employment situation. I'm going to sue. And they're going to make a lot of money. I guarantee it. All right, having said that, we're going to take a quick little break, do some shout-outs around the corner. Right after these messages, stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
You've been charged with a crime, and now you're facing the loss of your freedom. Where do you turn to get out of jail or stay out of jail? The law offices of Wallen and Claridge. Call 877-4-NO-JAIL. With over 20 years' experience and attorneys who work in your local courts, Wallen and Claridge can make the difference between jail and freedom. When you need help, make one call. Make it to Wallen and Claridge. 877-4-NO-JAIL. The call is free. Will you be?
Hey, Mark's here. We want people should know about the new Italian radio show on KMET. Like my Uncle Vinny used to say, Gumbas non stunad.
SID, there is no such words in Italian.
Forget about it. Tell them about the show.
The Italian Radio Show, presented by West Coast Italian Radio.
Mondays at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490, or stream us live 24/7 from our website at WCIR.biz.
Make sure to tune in.
You don't want that we should have to tell you twice.
Do you ever wish you could make a difference in the world? Inspire change? You know, express yourself without all the drama? Together We Are Strong allows you to do just that. Wear your heart on your sleeve by rocking artistically designed tees, hats, and coffee mugs. Together We Are Strong is a brand that stands for unity, equality, and protecting our voting rights. All proceeds from these voting rights products are donated to Rock the Vote. This amazing organization is on a mission to empower young voters. Did you know that as of 2020, millennials and Gen Z make up 40% of all eligible voters? That's right. You've got the power to drive change. Become an activist without saying a word. Shop at togetherwearestrong.com.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff in spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, where we're enjoying each and every one of you on this show of the day. Let's go to social media comments. Rithi Neek says, hello. Good morning, Aaron, and everyone as well. Rithi, good to have you with us. Let's see. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious sunshine, awesomeness, busy day ahead for today. Tuning in from, of course, Ohio. Thank you for tuning in. Joel Ortiz says, I got the big JJ at the VA. He's talking about the Johnson & Johnson at the VA hospital there. Awesome. Very good, Joel. Joel Ortiz always doing some great stuff. You should follow him on social media. He does some great photos, I just saw a few of them today, actually, when I woke up, Joel. So good job over there. He great photographer. If you need him for any event, I recommend him. He has his whole crew, and he's got several different cameras, and he's always taking really good pictures. Some pose and some not, so you never know when he's going to get you. But those are the type of photographers you want doing any type of big event that you're doing. There was a huge event this last weekend that I forgot to talk about, Latina Fest. And it was one of several things that we were able to go and have fun with and talk about and talk with some of our friends, some of which we've seen for quite some time. And it was good to just see people get out in the public and outside. It was an event outside, which, again, I do recommend for people to start doing, especially like with greenery around and keeping everybody safe. Everybody was wearing their face mask. Everybody was keeping the distance, maybe a fist bump, and that was it, or an elbow bump. Probably was the maximum. They had plenty of things, to wash your hands and, of course, put some stuff on. So I know it was done probably one of the most safest ways I've probably seen an outside event in quite some time. So that's the good news. Plus, it was outside where everybody was getting sun, and that's the good news as well. And honestly, there are people that, want to cancel certain events. And I understand, especially when they're inside doors. And sometimes you're like, okay, well, people are going to get more sick with ventilation and such, and they just basically don't have 100% the ability to stay safe 100%. But on an outside event like that during the day, especially here in California, I say, well, at least if people continue to do it safely, then they're good, then not. Rosalie Huerta says this, wonder if the religious reason will work. They changed the laws for California for children not to be regularly vaccinated. No longer can you sign a waiver saying it's a religious reason for children not getting the immunization, so the mandate on vaccine might fall into that too. Yeah, I don't really know the answer to that just yet, but I do say whenever you start to have to use a religious reason for that, that in of itself is going to get to be a big problem, because then they're going to say, okay, what's your religious reason? And then the question is, well, what religion do you practice? And then the question is, well, and what does the religion say about said matter? Now it's going to be a question of, does a religion say yay or nay about certain said things in your body? And I would say, yikes, be careful with that, because that in of itself can get to be a really big thing eventually. So, just because you can say it doesn't mean it's true. It just means you're saying, hey, I don't want to get fired right now. So I would say, if at the very least, get an attorney, ask a employment attorney what they could do about it. I can almost guarantee you it's not legal right now, even though people are doing it and they're all jumping on it. I guarantee you within a few weeks or so, somebody's going to get that news and going to say, you know what, let's pull back on that. It's still possible for certain ones to not, if they choose not to. And then it comes down to, well, what happens next? So we'll probably see in the next coming weeks. Stephanie Reed says, I know I didn't have any issues from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and shot, and I got mine from the health department and at the beginning of summer of after allergy season. Yeah, and that's good. Algenia Kirsten says, good morning. Just tuning in. Have a beautiful day. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so a lot of questions there, a lot of statements, and a lot of concern. And I say have more concern than not at all, because that's number one. Number two is do your research. Once you do your research, make an informed decision. And number three, if you are already at risk, make sure you do at least get something in your body, because God forbid you get the cold or the flu coming up and you end up sicker than most. Or you get the coronavirus and you think it's a cold, because that's the problem with the Delta variant. The Delta variant masks as cold symptoms, not flu symptoms. So you have to be careful of that. Over the weekend, I did come across 3 people that were coughing and kind of sniffling, and I kind of thought to myself, do they have coronavirus or do they have just a regular cold? Which is it? Because the information isn't being shared enough that Delta does mask as a cold virus. Okay, so be very careful about that. If you feel worse than normal, go get tested, and it's better to get tested than not, so you know how to progress in a few, because God forbid it be more than a cold and it be worse, so that you don't get, super sick, and then of course get the people that you love really sick, and then they get super sick, and then everybody's getting sick, and now no one's quarantining because now you realize it's not like a flu, but it's a cold. But then some might have the same of both. It varies, so make sure that you get tested right away. Go to a testing place, get tested, and then within 20 minutes or so, if it's not a false negative, because those are happening as well, then you'll know what is, hopefully, more often than not, how to address it going forward, okay? Now, having said that, the reality is Lucy. Yeah, Lucy's in the news. Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz in Being the Ricardos trailer. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. I have not seen this just yet, but I just saw a screen capture here. I'm going to kind of share it with you guys here. Here it is in all its glory. There it is. The famous scene, as we all have seen, of Lucy with the grapes, smashing the grapes. And I'm not going to lie, I actually think that's really a good view of... I did not know that was Nicole Kidman. It doesn't look like Nicole Kidman. But again, she has no makeup on. She's going El Natural. And Amazon Studios debuted the first anticipated trailer for the upcoming Aaron Sorkin-directed film Being the Ricardos, which follows late comedy icon Lucille Ball and her husband Desi Arnaz. The trailer teases at Kidman's transformation, with the Oscar-winning actress narrating as Ball throughout as scenes from the film play. The big reveal comes near the end as Kidman recreates Ball's iconic grape-stomping scene from I Love Lucy. Being the Ricardos focuses on Ball's life with Arnaz, whom she married in 1940 and split from in 1960. They both starred together in the popular 1951 sitcom I Love Lucy. Kidman and Bardem's casting was criticized by some fans, with some taking issue with Bardem, who's Spanish, playing Arnaz since he was Cuban-American. However, Sorkin, who is from The West Wing, has said that casting Kidman and Bardem as the I Love Lucy stars was more about Ball and Arnaz as actors rather than their characters on the sitcom. Let's see. He actually said to Entertainment Tonight, I think that the people thought that we've cast them as Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. The film takes place during a production week of I Love Lucy, a Monday table read to Friday audience taping with a whole bunch of long flashbacks, which are telling the story that got us here. And because there's a table read, there's rehearsals, and then there's tape night, we do see moments of them being Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. In January, Kidman told Variety that she was looking forward to taking on the role of the iconic actress. And, of course, the Big Little Lies star said of being offered the part, I was like, yeah, I would love to give it a go. With Aaron's words and his direction and Javier, that's kind of a wonderful prospect too, but yikes, off we go, give it a go, try my best, see if I can do it. Tony Hale, Alia Shawkat, Clark Gregg, and Jake Lacey are set to star in the film. Being the Ricardos opens in theaters December 10th and hits Prime Video on December 21st. So that's going to happen around the corner. Very interesting. I can't wait for it. I'm definitely going to want to watch it. And I don't know if it's going to get her an Oscar this year. I haven't seen the trailer just yet. But usually whenever people play iconic characters, they usually get nominated. So we'll see. I don't know if it's up to that part just yet. I think it's interesting that, again, Amazon is investing in a film that they're going to release in theaters. And obviously they're going to release it on their platform. So I know they're going to make a lot of money just on that alone. The Nicole Kidman name is still a huge blockbuster draw. So that's definitely going to happen. Stephanie Reed says, our health department in Ohio told me before getting the vaccine, drink 60 ounces of water, Gatorade of the electrolytes, and after get the vaccine shot, take a Tylenol. Stephanie, your people in Ohio are smarter than they are here in California. No one tells you that here, actually. So I would say thank you for sharing that information. And I could see it because water helps your body funnel through certain toxins as well. So it helps clean you out. The more water you drink, the better your body helps clean out other cells. Although you're going to go to the restroom a lot more than normal, you still are going to clean your body out. It acts as a good, a lot of things actually. When your body really does need water, but if you're dehydrated, it's actually the opposite. So good job, and especially the electrolytes. That makes sense. Give your body some extra nutrition with that body energy. All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Standard Time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit. Get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Hi everyone, Dave Levine here. The Dave Levine Show is back on the air, 10 to 11 a.m. Wednesday mornings on KMET 1490. Join me for an hour of Law & Order stories and commentary. Law & Order is now the #1 issue for Californians. If you miss it live, you can hear or watch it 24/7 on either SoundCloud or live stream. See you then. Thank you.
Can't you see just a few seconds?
Are you a self-published author that maybe underestimated the challenges of marketing your own book? I'm Suzanne Lynn, and we help authors sell more books through video interviews and radio advertising. You see, a professional video interview is really an author's secret weapon for marketing because it makes an emotional connection with your reader that can be posted to social media, YouTube, your book's landing page and website, your Amazon author page, and even sent to media to request interviews. We guarantee that video interview will be viewed by a minimum of 3,000 people in your target audience. And let's face it, no one can sell your book better than you speaking about it yourself. Plus, we can run commercials on our nationwide network of radio stations that targets your specific reading audience. Find out more at GiveMyBookWings.com. That's GiveMyBookWings.com. Again, GiveMyBookWings.com.
You're running out of letterhead. What do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning.
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm so excited for Eternals. That's one of the movies that I cannot wait to see. I can guarantee if Jesse were here today, he's taking the day off for some much needed rest. And but if he were here today, I can tell you right now, he would be like, you know what? I want to see this right here, right now. Why are we waiting for this? We need to see this. This was the scene at the red carpet recently. Again, always beautiful Hayek. And if you say the opposite, I would say, are you not looking with your eyes? Salma Hayek, of course, gracing the red carpet with her daughter. Yeah. She actually introduced her 14-year-old daughter to a lot of people who are like, wait, you have a daughter? Valentina Paloma Penalt to the premiere of Eternals, and the mother-daughter pair looks so sweet on the rival carpet. Well, I wouldn't say sweet. I would say gorgeous. Yep, definitely in the jeans. Hayek and her team posed up a storm at the premiere. The actress wore a glamorous black dress with a statement necklace, while Valentina looked super cute in a... Again, these are not my words. This is Julia Teddy, who is the writer of a Yahoo post called Salma Hayek's gorgeous teen daughter, Valentina, made a rare appearance at Mom's Eternals premiere. I would never call her young teen daughter cute. You don't do that as a dude. So there you go. Her daughter was in a black and white polka dot dress with sheer tights and matching black clutch and boots. For the women, you guys know what that means. I got no idea. You can tell a woman wrote this because she understands what fashion, and I don't. This isn't the first time Hayek has brought her daughter along to an event as her date, and we don't think it'll last. It'll be the last either. So she brought her daughter. That's good. The red carpet appearances are good. And I'm glad she did it with her daughter. That's even better. It says, as she gets older, we have a feeling Hayek will want to continue to include her daughter in major industry events. Of course she will. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Eternals definitely has a special meaning for the longtime actress and a message that she surely wanted to experience with her daughter. Hayek spoke to Elle about what being a part of the ensemble cast meant to her, and it's definitely a message that her daughter could benefit from seeing on the big screen. She says this, quote, sometimes as a woman of color and with age, you feel so overlooked. It was one of those moments where you think, okay, I held on in this industry, survived for this long. She really felt assured by director Chloe Zhao, knowing the Oscar-winning filmmaker acknowledged her talent. She says a lot more in that article, and you can read that at Elle, but we're sure the powerful character is one the actress wanted her daughter to see. So very good news, very great news, and always good to see family members grace the carpet on the red carpet, because that says, hey, you know what? Sometimes we forget about that, right? I know everybody goes, wait, she had a daughter? I didn't know she had a daughter. Yeah, so there you go. And look, she's a mom. And I think to mothers everywhere, when you have family and you especially have your own children, it's important to share these experiences with one another, right? Especially a film like this, a Marvel film, which again, I don't know what's coming out about it, but I know it's probably going to be really good. So, or at least I'm hoping it will be really good. So there you go. Now, having said that, we're going to take another break here. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Who is the Atua Man? Can you imagine exploring spiritual consciousness through an exotic action-adventure story? The Atua Man is masterfully illuminated in this self-discovery novel by John Stevenson. Dive into the page-turning epic hero's journey, weaving together high action with spiritual revelation. Join the Atua Man and his colorful cohorts as they travel through the majestic Hawaii, the hidden mysteries of Polynesia, and the intrigue, starting with the mysterious healing that breeds chaos in London. This journey guides us through the trials of living in the material world, arriving into enlightened consciousness, perhaps glimpse into the fabric of creation. How is the Atua Man affected by the global healing ministry surrounding him? How does he navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, life and death, wealth and power? Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaMan.com, Apple Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Beljanski supplements and herbal teas, widely used in Europe, now the Beljanski formulas are available in the United States. Used by athletes, fashion models, the former president of France, and those in the know. Beljanski supplements and herbal teas can work for you. Call 212-308-7066. That's 212-308-7066. Visit our center in New York City. Our website is www.maisonbeljanski.com. That's www.maisonbeljanski.com. Feel better naturally. Beljanski formulas.
KMET 1490 AM presents University of Redlands football. This Saturday, October 23rd at 7 p.m., the Bulldogs meet Chapman University, live from Ted Renner Stadium in Redlands. I'm Mitch McClellan. Join Brett Malik and me as the Bulldogs meet the Panthers in a SCIAC conference game. University of Redlands football broadcasts are brought to you by Gallagher's Finishing Touch Engraving, the Gourmet Pizza Shop in historic downtown Redlands, Hatfield Buick GMC, Mattress Brothers, Pericone Juices, Storage West, Savarino's Italian Deli and Market, and the Bulldog Bench. That's University of Redlands football action this Saturday night at 6:45 for the pregame show, followed by kickoff at 7 o'clock. Live from Redlands on your home for Bulldog football, KMET 1490 AM.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, and we appreciate each and every one of you for spending time with us on our show, whether you tune in on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn, and or just on any other streaming device. Remember, Alexa is also where it's at. You can always just, if you're having Alexa an account, just simply say, Alexa, I want to listen to KMET 1490 AM, and it will come up right there and then. I remember having friends do that for me for the very first time from their Alexa device, and I was like, that's amazing. And then I'm kind of wondering, if you have an Alexa, does Alexa hear everything that you say throughout the day? Because I know when I had an Alexa back last year, sometimes you would say things and it would start talking. You're like, no, I wasn't talking to you. You're like, wait a minute, what else are you listening to? I don't want you to know anything that I say. So there's that. So be careful with what you say around Alexa because she's always listening. That's what I say. But seriously, though, you can check us out in so many ways. Make sure to download our app. It is free, KMET 1490 AM. It's free. You can also follow us on Twitter and our Facebook, KMET Radio. It's very simple. It's right there, and it is always for your enjoyment. So there you go. All right. This story is one of which might make you think twice. Staff at an English animal hospital were in for a shock when they responded to a call about an unusual creature, which actually turned out to be a very aggressive creature. A call from a local stone masonry firm alerted a team of animal experts to a stowaway snake that arrived in a shipping container from India. South Essex Wildlife Hospital, and this was explained in a series of posts on Twitter. The view of the snake, my mom would say this is a gorgeous-looking snake. But if you know anything about certain snakes, some snakes could be pretty mean and very vicious. According to the hospital, they wrote this, as it was identified as a saw-scaled viper, and having had one before, we understood fully the gravity of just how dangerous these reptiles are. They are way up there in the top few most deadly snakes. Saw-scaled vipers are found in arid regions and dry savannas north of the equator across Africa, Arabia, and southwestern Asia to India and Sri Lanka. Region up to 3 feet in length, the snakes are considered very dangerous due to their irritable and aggressive nature and lethal venom. In the regions where they are found, it's believed that the creatures are responsible for more human deaths than all other snake species combined. When agitated, saw-scaled vipers move slowly with the body looped into S-shaped folds, rubbing their scales together to make a hissing sound. Hospital founder Sue Schwar said to the news outlet that the people who found the snake were very lucky not to have been killed. Oh, God. If you see this one, don't go, oh, pet snake, you're so cute. I want to keep you forever. Say, no, turn it in. Not a cute snake at all, especially when they bite you. Yeah, no. It says, being a reptile and having probably spent many, many weeks in a container, it was probably quite cold, which was fortunate for them because reptiles need to warm up to be active. At that point, thank God, it was probably fairly docile, but it was fairly aggressive when the team collected it. Although the authorities were called, no one responded, leaving the hospital to send reptile experts to collect the very agitated and aggressive animal before someone was likely killed. That's according to the South Essex Wildlife Hospital. The team managed to get the animal into a lockbox, sealed the room with a tape, and warning signs as they waited for it to be collected by an appropriate facility. They said, quote, we are glad not to have to deal with the venomous creature too often, but feel sad for the snake that we can't give it freedom and get it back home. And that's the problem of the day. As venomous as this snake is, was it the snake's fault? I say no. Leave the snake where they need to be in their natural habitat and then allow them to just slither away and just don't ever pet those type of snakes. Big message to mom. See, I knew it. My mom says it pretty. Yeah, my mom wants a snake, and I say no for so many reasons. No. I know some of you out there that are listening have a snake. I don't care. They get out, okay? We have reported on so many snakes that get out of their little cages and or the little environments. I say no. If they could climb tall trees, they can get out. I don't care what you do, okay? I don't know how they do it. I don't know what kind of other little rats or other ones they talk and say, move this, move that, so I can get out. I don't know what they do, but they have some ability to get out of said environments that I say, no, I just don't want to participate in that. Algeria says beautiful animals. Okay, all right, I'll give you that. They're actually pretty beautiful, and that one is a beautiful one. But if you get bit from it and you get dead from it, I would say the opposite. So there you go, all right? Snakes do have their purpose. They do need to eat, and you do have to feed them regularly food. But there you go. That's all I'm going to say about that because I just there's something about snakes. I just don't want to ever get bit by them. Are you following Will Smith on his account? Well, oddly enough, you might have seen some pictures that made you go, what is he doing? Well, on Sunday, he shared a photo of his body transformation in an Instagram post. Now, if you remember, we actually talked about this, about his dad bod, or coronavirus bod, as some would call it. He's looking like the action star from I Am Legend and Hancock again, 5 months after showing off his self-described dad bod. The man is 53, okay? And 53, getting back in shape, for some people, can be very difficult. But he said he was in the worst shape of his life in May, which he attributed to gaining weight during the pandemic. He then posted a photo of himself in a pair of boxer briefs, saying he was proud of his dad bod, but motivated to get back to his usual physique. So he shared this on Instagram. The video featured a montage of Smith doing various exercises, including dumbbell presses, chest fly presses, and sit-ups, with the caption, "Sunday aren't an excuse to rest." He wrote, "This is the body that carried me through an entire pandemic and countless days grazing through the pantry. I love this body, but I want to feel better." His initial dad bod post in May sparked the Dad Bod Challenge. Other celebrities, including Anthony Anderson, Chris Spencer, Marlon Wayans, followed his example, posting similar photos and a caption outlining their goals. Smith, who stars in the upcoming blockbusters Bright 2 and Bad Boys 4, has been regularly posting his own workout moves on Instagram and YouTube over the last 6 months, as well as clips of others following his trend. His workout videos range from intense athlete workouts like tire flips and heavyweight back squats to more casual jogs and lightweight dumbbell presses. In July, he went swimming in what is known as the world's deepest pool, did not know that, on a visit to Deep Dive Dubai. So if you want to check out his Instagram, let me see if I can pull up his Instagram really quick for you guys to see. I am actually, I'm not following him. Let me follow him. But we showed this a while back, and this is good. You know, the women, you ladies, you get it too. You understand, because we see you guys post as well. So don't be hating on us men that, you know, need a little inspiration as well, because we kind of need it sometimes as well. Here it is. Here's his Instagram account. And I'm just going to kind of scroll down to where you'll see a lot of his posts and a lot of his stuff. But the one that got the most amount of views was, of course, he in his dad body, right? And in his dad body, look, he's a dad, he's a father, he's a husband, he's everything. And he was not ashamed to share some videos. Some of these pictures are cracking me up because, you know, I think of him still as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But here you go. This was his dad body. Okay, that's a normal body. Many women would say, yep. And I think this is the one where he actually lost a little bit more than that. He actually had more weight than that. Because I know a lot of ladies go, dude, that's my husband. That's how my husband looks, right? But he got in shape throughout. And so he's kind of posting his throughout pictures. So going from, yeah, there we go. This was more him in his less physique self. But not hating it. Just like, look, this is me. So what? Who cares, right? And I say, you know what? Good for you, because I can guarantee you right now, I would not go out without a shirt on, because I know what that feels like at times. But I'm going to go to his most recent post right here, which is, I believe, this one. It might be this one. And, you know, there he is. 1 million hearts. Of course, you may be one of the million that are watching this. But you'll see him go through a lot of things. And, of course, a lot of people are participating as well. And he's reposting some things as well. And, of course, making sure he does exactly that. Get into the gym, do his thing, do his squats, do his just everything, getting back into shape for himself and so he could feel better. Sundays aren't an excuse to rest. I would say are not. It's not the proper verbiage, but whatever. But here you go. You'll see some more of his workouts. And if that doesn't inspire you to get back in shape, I really don't know what will. But I am appreciative of him doing exactly that and sharing it with everyone, of course, because it's a motivating factor to see somebody, A, be okay with themselves, and B, share their journey with others in the way that he does. And be okay with that. Share it. You know, you don't have to be in the movie star status just yet. You could be doing that with Instagram and social media. You could be motivating others throughout your journey, whatever that journey is. And in this video, I love it because it features so many people that are ready to go the next level, especially during coronavirus months, right? Work out, get your body in shape, fight that stuff that wants to take your body down and build up your immunity. Now, I will say, safely, don't, you know, throw caution to the wind and not so safely. There's many gyms that are doing it the right way rather than the wrong way. So there you go. But, isn't that great? Isn't that motivating for some of you? I know. Some of you are like, you know what? Go Smith. Yeah. So that's what I say. I say, he's doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing for his family. His family is very busy, obviously, and being very busy. You can follow him at Will Smith, his official account. And I say this. A lot of people need their accounts back. I'm going to say this really quick. Sandra Bullock. Get your Instagram or Facebook on there. Do you know how many? I'm going to do a quick little shout out for those people that are on Facebook or Instagram. If you're following a Sandra Bullock, you know how many accounts there are that are of Sandra Bullock? Like 8. There's about 8 of them. Now I'm going to take it back just a little bit to a quick little moment I had probably about 8 years ago. And I had a side request. You know when it says people you may know? And it came up on my Facebook account, Sandra Bullock. And I was like, shouldn't I? And I said, well, who knows? But that was in the day where you were not sure if they were real celebrities or not. But I knew there was a friend in common. So I go, well, there's a friend in common. Maybe she is. It does say people you may know. And I connected. Later that day, I got reamed by the other said actor saying, why did you friend request her? You don't know her? And I'm like, but he thought I was using his account again, or her account, and this and that, because they were friends, whatever. But I wasn't. It was just people you may know. We all get it, right? It's like people you may know. So, I was like, oh, you never know. Well, here's the question of the day. Was it her account? I don't know till this day. Because I immediately said, fine, I won't follow. Because, I respected him. But I'm like, I didn't do it. Just, it came on my people. That's how Facebook works, but whatever. I didn't want to create a fight or a situation. So I can almost guarantee you she has an account because I had proof with him making sure that she already had it, because I guess that's how they used to communicate. Because that's how celebrities do. But they usually then put them kind of in layaway, and they kind of keep them very private, and they keep them away from other people, right? That's just like their own internal friends. Everybody that I've known in celebrity stardom has them. Sometimes they don't even mark themselves as such because they don't want to get all the friend requests that they have. But having said that, there are so many fakers out there that pretend to be Sandra Bullock. Now, I understand fan pages. That's different. But there are other ones that will want money from said people or say, oh, I'll give you this or that. But then when you correspond with them and you talk to them, all of a sudden you find out, nope, that wasn't the person. They're like in some country like Africa or Nigeria or, Australia, trying to get money from said fans. So if you are a celebrity, make sure that you take your own account back. Make sure at least you have an official account. Hire a social media company to do your account. That way people don't get taken for a ride. Because I guarantee in the next couple of months, you're going to see other ones which say, but I thought that was you. Saying, no, that wasn't me. And then you see like Ellen DeGeneres and The Rock and sort of things saying, we're going to give you a lot of money, and people use her. So make sure you have an official account so you can state your own whereabouts and other people don't impersonate you, which is exactly what people do with celebrity accounts. So don't allow that. All right, people, we're going to take a huge break. We'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.